And today we're going to be checking out the Probe Plus. That's right, this is a dual probe system for the chef or the cook in the house. How cool is that? These are remotely operated probes that you can actually put into your steaks, into your roast, into your pork, any meat that you're cooking, and you just leave them in there. You throw them in the oven, you throw them on the grill, and you can monitor the internal temperature through your phone and also through the device. How cool is that? Let's point the camera down. We're going to take a closer look and see what all you get. And then on top of that, I've also cooked dinner tonight, and I actually use the probes for that, and I'm going to show you my experience with them and show you the app and show you how they work. So let's get to it. Alright, so they're going to come in a box like this. Because I have used them, I have opened them. This is the actual charge cord right here. And when you open it up, you are going to have a nice color instruction manual, but you probably don't need that because it's fairly simple to use. And here's the actual device itself. It's got a little activation button right there that you can tap and it will turn the screen on, but the screen is not going to turn on unless the probe is removed. To get a closer look at this, you can see that you have, let me turn it to where you can see it. There you go. You can see that you have all your cooking temperatures right here for different types of meats. This right here is your button. You have your two probes, and this is also a charging base on top of a storage unit. And the way that you charge these probes is you just click them in their little stand right here. You have electrodes here, and then you have some electrodes at the top, and when they're plugged in there properly, they will actually charge themselves up. Now you charge the base unit with the port on top. That's what the cord is for. That's a USB-C to USB. You also have this wire stand that kicks out, and this base is made out of bamboo. How cool is that? Now you kick the little wire out on the back and you can actually stand it up just like so you can monitor your temperatures while it's cooking. When you go to use the device, you can just pop your probes out just like this. You can see when the probes come out that the little screen comes on. It tells you temperatures from, let me get it angled a little better, probe 1 and probe 2. Now the flashing that you see, that's due to the frame rate on the camera. The actual unit itself, you don't see that. It doesn't actually flash. And on top of the temperatures, you see one is at 82 because it's in my hand, the other one's 76. It also tells you probe 1 and probe 2 and the battery life in them. And then the yellow on top is the actual battery life of this actual base itself. Now something that you do need to know about these probes, I'm going to try to get it close enough to where you can see it. If you look in this area right here, and it's easier to see in person, but there's a little groove in the middle, and what that little groove is for is you slide this into your meat to at least that point. You have to have at least this much of the probe inserted for it to work properly and to avoid damaging your probe. And then of course after you cook, you just take your probes, you line up the little slot in the top, you can see it right there, and you just click them in. And once you click them in, they will start recharging. There, now we got them both in, and they're both recharging. So let's go ahead. We're going to roll the footage of me cooking earlier. I did a little time lapse, and we're going to go over the app at the same time. So let's get to it. Okay, so now it's time to get started cooking. You're going to remove your probe, and you can see that the unit has lit up. I'm going to get the app started. You can see it's probably 73 degrees in the house. We're going to plug the probe into the meat and try to put the tip of it where the temperature reading comes from as close to center as possible. You can see it immediately drop down. Now we're going to open the app, set our temperature, and then we're going to go back. You can see there's a little graph at the bottom that's going to track the temperature. Now if you need a second probe and you remove it, you can see that you can set up each individual probe for two different types of meat or two different cooks all at the same time, and you can monitor them both on the phone and monitor them both on the unit itself. But of course we're only going to be using a single probe, so we're going to put this one back, and now we're just going to stick our food in the oven and we're going to cook it up and just watch the temperature rise. You can watch the graph rise, and let's see how this thing works. Alright, so this is a little time lapse I did of it cooking, and you can see the temperature's rising. You can see the graph is rising as well, reflecting the internal temperature of the meat. You can leave the probe in there real time. We're going to cook a little macaroni and cheese and get ready for dinner, and you can see that the probe and the app are working just flawlessly. Alright, so let's look closely at the app. You can see that you can just click start, and that's going to bring up your different types of meat. You select your meat, then you select your temperature, and then that's going to get it kicked off. You can have a single probe. You can use the second probe if you want to. You can go in and set up the second probe for a whole different type of meat. You can see all your different options. Set your internal temperature. Go back to the main menu, and you are good to go. It's very simple to use, very intuitive, and it's going to make cooking so much easier because now you can walk around the house with your phone and get notified when your food is done. You don't have to sit there and watch it constantly, and it's going to be a good way to track your cooking. So as you can see, these are extremely easy to use. The app is very simple. It's not very complicated at all. It takes no time to figure out. If you don't want to use the app, you can use it standalone as well. But it's really cool that once you use this with the app, that you can just walk around the house with your phone and it's going to send you a notification to let you know that your food's done. How easy is that? So this is a product that I could really get behind. I think it's done very well. I like the bamboo case. I like the fact that you have dual remotes. You can use it with or without the app. Just all around a great product for helping you do your barbecuing and your cooking. I hope this video helps, and thanks for watching.